in my hair.
Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you.
All right, cool. Great. That's why I was wanting to make sure that I'm like, please work. Please work.
I can hear you loud and clear.
All right, so cool. All right, we're going to go on the air in just about 45 seconds, so guys, be ready.
Sweet.
Don't spill nothing, please. I know you are. All right, cool.
Are we going to say anything else from here?
You just go with the flow.
All right. So if you guys can do one thing for me, talking to the mics and just say testing 1, 2, 3.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
Awesome, they work.
They work. Yeah, just speak from your heart. That's it. I'm here. Oh my God.
You are my heart.
I can't hear anything.
I'm glad you did it.
What'd you say?
I said I can't believe you're graduating.
I know. It's crazy.
And that was Youngblood, the Naked and Famous here on Radio Dixie 91.3. What's going on, guys? So I have special guests in the building today. I have Christina and Juno. They're from the Multicultural CLUB. How are you guys doing today?
I am doing fantastic. How are you doing?
So we are live on Facebook and YouTube, and I am doing awesome. We're on Facebook and live. Yay! So let's jump right into it, guys. What is the Multicultural Inclusion Club about?
So we're about creating an inclusive campus for all multicultural and LGBTQ community and here on Dixie State for the students and for the community, like I said.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're here to create inclusivity. We're here to have everybody feel like there is a home away from home.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're trying to do.
Why is that important to you guys? Why is that even an importance to the Dixie State community or the St. George community? Why do you guys try to do that?
I mean, first of all, every college student is like typically either they're from St. George, which is really small, and we love St. George, but most of the kids here are from out of state, or if they're from Utah, then they're away from home. So that's another thing, is bringing that home away from home atmosphere. This is my first year being on the student council, and it has literally, like, I have been almost to the point of tears these last couple weeks just because graduation's coming up. And so I'm graduating in May. Whoop!
Yeah.
I'm super excited. But at the same time, like, I've created such amazing friends here. And honestly, I would call them family more than anything else. And last year, I wasn't a part of any student council, any organization, any club or anything. And so I was missing that community. And I'm from Chicago, so I love people. I love diverse communities. And so this center, and I'm not just saying this because I work there, but I honestly, to the bottom of my heart, absolutely love the center because it provides that diverse thought of mind. People challenge things that you say, and I think that that's like the most genuine relationship that you can have with people.
What about you?
Well, honestly, my first year here, this is my first year on the council too. And my first year here was just really hard. Like, I didn't find any connection with anybody, but joining the MIC, I found home, I found family, and that was something very important, very necessary for me to actually continue and enjoy my college life.
Yeah.
Because being a student away from home, I'm from Los Angeles, and it's just like, it's a completely different atmosphere, a different environment here, and it's something that was just really, really needed.
Well, you know what? I've been to a couple of your multicultural talks, and I was at one of them a couple of weeks ago, the LGBTQ one. I was at that one, and I was at the other one for African Americans and Hispanics. I sat down and I actually talked to one of them, and I thought it was interesting because you guys dove right into conversations we have across this world. We're having conversations about this every day, about the struggles with minorities, and we have the struggles between LGBTQ communities being accepted into this world. Why is it important to put on those conversations and give people a voice?
We were just talking about this last week for our diversity dialogue, just on the differences of race. And especially being in an area that is primarily white Caucasian, it's important to have these conversations especially at our colleges, because that's an area and a time, like a period of time where your brain is just open to conversations like that.
Yeah.
Not often do we hear like grandparents or adults really talking about these hardcore topics and to bring up some really, really heated conversations and to be able to be okay, like, hey, I still love you, but this is what's really going on in life. I think that's so important, and I think that it's amazing that we do that.
Yeah, giving people a voice too, especially here, like Christina said, the majority is white Caucasian, while all of the rest of us, we're just having a really hard time trying to fit in, trying to know what's new, what's going on, how do we fit in, how do we all become a family, how do we all become inclusive, you know, and
yeah. And another thing too is like a lot of our friends that are not part of the MIC or are not the minority here in St. George have come up to us and they've said like, I am so thankful that you've put these on because I just had no idea. I had no idea these problems existed and I didn't realize that this is how you felt about that. And I think that's so important.
I think that's important too. And to be honest, I had the same thought. I'm half Hispanic, half white, and I love my family, and I will, you know, they mean the world to me, and there's nothing wrong with them. And you know, I'm from Chicago too, so you know, being from so being from Chicago and also being from Los Angeles, we see the same world sometimes. There's you know, the world, the people who don't know those places, you know, they judge us and they say things, but we're the people from there, and we know what goes on in there. Besides that, what are your plans on helping not just the minorities here at Dixie State, but also the Caucasian students? What are your plans as the MIC to do that?
Absolutely. That's a really good question. Our mission statement, I'm just going to go ahead and read it straight from out of our handbook.
Go ahead.
It's creating an inclusive campus for all multicultural and LGBTQ plus Dixie State University and Dixie State University students. So what this center is supposed to do is, well, what you want to continue to do is create this atmosphere where you can have conversations that are super in-depth and super challenging, especially with everything, all the hatred that's going on around the world, right? Yeah. So this is an area that you can come and challenge other thoughts and not only challenge other people, but be challenged as well. Exactly. And
providing resources too, which is something that a lot of people don't know that they even have. And fortunately, we've been very... we've had the opportunity to actually give other people resources that they didn't even know existed. Lawyers that they have on campus and stuff like that.
Absolutely. What's super cool is anybody can work in the council.
Of course.
What's amazing is that you can, like, let's say if you're a photographer and you have such a deep calling to get your work out there, come work with me on PR and you can literally show your talent and showcase that and put that on your resume. So that's another thing that is provided to all students. So if you have any talents in PR, education, in outreach, speaking to some high school students, absolutely come and give us what you got.
So some people would say, not just here on the campus, but some people would say in the St. George community that there isn't a problem with the minorities. We don't have an issue with them. We try to keep it as, you know, cohesive as we can. You know, of course, not to try to dive into that conversation, because that conversation can take us a whole hour, and we sadly we don't have that. But to say to give a feedback on that, what do you guys say to that? That there's not a real minority issue here in St. George or at the Dixie State campus?
That's a tough question.
That is.
So the way I would respond to this is there's absolutely not a problem with the fact that minority students exist here or that we're coexisting with white Caucasian. And the thing is, in my own perspective, and I can't speak for everyone else, but in my own perspective, I'm not trying to ever divide the two and divide and conquer. I'm not trying to do that. What I'm trying to do is what's really cool is I'm 100% Indian, not Native American Indian, but like my parents are from India. And so what the MIC provides and what me as a minority student provides here in St. George is the cultural aspect that I bring. So if I'm dressed up in a certain way or if I'm eating a certain food, everyone loves Indian food, right?
Yes.
I can't argue with that one.
Seriously, like it's so interesting because I grew up like hating the fact that I was so different. And I wanted to be white, blonde with blue eyes. And that was like the thing. Until I became comfortable with myself and literally grew to love that I come from a culture so beautiful, I hated it before. And so what was amazing about being a minority student is that I can I can teach others. I can teach others. What's amazing about this? I can cook for a lot of people, which if anybody knows me, I'm horrible at cooking, but I love a good crock pot.
Easiest way to cook some food.
It really is.
What do you say to that?
We just want everybody to know that we can all come together and be one. We are here to be united. We are here to be strong. We are here to be something that not a lot of people like.
When do you get a chance to like completely dive into a different culture? When can you ever just like meet someone and say, hey, I love your food, I love your dresses, like teach me everything about it.
Right.
What's amazing about minority students is that like we get to share all of that.
Right.
We get to. And I think that that's like the coolest thing. There's no problem. I don't think that there's a problem that we have. My boyfriend's white. He's 100% white. And I freaking love him. But at the same time, like, I love that there's beauty in that. You know, I love that you can be who you are, where you come from.
And this is our chance to like show and express that we are different, but we all share our differences beautifully. We are all beautiful in our own unique way.
Yeah.
So a couple questions I have. One is the DACA program. Of course, the DACA program is a program the government has been talking about a little bit. And not to jump into that conversation again, that would take hours and hours and hours. But the issue is that I believe the DACA program is coming to an end. What would you say to the people in Congress to say, hey, let's keep this program going? What is so special about the DACA program that comes into play?
Opportunity. People come here for a better opportunity. People come here to get educated. People come here to share what they have. And sometimes, like we were talking about earlier, Christina and I, resources are limited. But if they come here for a reason, and they come here to share and express and try to tell everybody else that, you know what, well, not that I'm better than you, but hey, maybe if I can help you out, we can come to a conclusion together. We can resolve problems together. Together, being united, that's going to make a whole difference. And that's something that we need to also pay attention to, because just because we're different, because we have papers, because we don't have papers, that doesn't mean anything. We're still human.
What do you say to that?
That was really well put, and I don't think I could say it any better. But if anything, I agree 100% with the opportunity. We were talking about this earlier in a conversation we had. If a kid from Haiti, you know, the poorest nation in the Western Hemisphere, if a kid from Haiti had the ultimate cure to cancer, but did not have the resources or the opportunity to bring that to light, to bring that to the rest of the world and to save so many lives, how does that even happen? You know, like,
yeah.
So with the DACA program, I agree. I think that it gives people opportunity to have a better life. And the American culture, the American way, the American life has a huge impact on so many other different countries with our food, with our dresses, with the way we talk, with how we hold our Starbucks coffee. Like, it totally has an impact. And so if we can do anything about it, I say we should.
So with that being said, are there any programs you guys have at the MIC that you guys can provide, not just to minority groups, but also the Caucasian groups here at Dixie State University?
Absolutely. Like I said earlier, if anyone's a photographer, if anyone's into PR, come talk to me. My phone number is 224-619-6871. Come talk to me about that. If you want to talk
to me about education.
If you're an educator,
if you're interested in being an educator, you can come talk to me. Juno, my number is 323-494-7999. And we're having scholarships. We can help you out, help us help you. You know, this is our chance to stand together.
And another thing we offer is just that family, and like I said earlier, like that environment where you have a genuine challenge, where you challenge others, where you get challenged in your own thoughts because everyone's so different. I think that's what I think even Jackson would say, that he gets offered. He feels more comfortable being with a diverse population than being in a majority of just white, you know? So...
All right, guys. Well, that's all the time we have here on Radio Dixie. I very much appreciate you guys coming on the air and talking about this stuff. I know it's not the greatest conversation to have, but it's a conversation we all need to start having together. So I do appreciate that. I do appreciate to all the listeners on Radio Dixie listening on. This is Radio Dixie 91.3.